Hello and welcome to a new kind of video, Key Concepts. Here I'll talk about, rather than just a game in particular, talk about a key concept in Blood Bowl in isolation. So today we're going to be talking about the eye cage, or sometimes known as the Vengabus. You can see here we've got an undead team facing off against some wood elves. And the undead have the ball in what's known as a Vengabus. I'm sure you're familiar with the standard X cage. We just have somebody here, protecting the ball that way. And you can see this formation is just a slightly extended version of that, with a sixth player in the hole here, and just moved a little bit wider. And it looks like the shape of an eye. The purpose of this formation is to defend against an opponent who is going to try and dodge into the cage. So the purpose of a normal X cage is to deter people from doing that in the first place. But this slightly advanced form of cage is designed to both deter people from trying, and also, if they do try and succeed, make it as hard as possible for them to knock the ball free. It's fine, X cage is fine in most situations, but there's plenty of teams that we're happy to try this different dodge into the cage, or with wood elves they might try a leap, like wrestle witch elves or strip ball gutter runners, all the kind of people that are quite happy to do 5-up dodge. So agility 4, 5-up dodge into the cage, with a reroll from dodge skill is actually more likely to succeed than fail. So there's always people who might be wanting to try it. The Vengabus is mostly a use if your team is light on the guard skill. So if you're a dwarf team with 7 guard players, you could just form a normal cage. People would happen to have guard, one on each corner here and here. Then it just does the same thing basically. The purpose of the Vengabus is if you are light on guard. So in this case we've got one guard player here, which is this white. And we're going to try and defend using this. So the way it works is you are trying to offer an assist to the attacking player who's blitzing the ball carrier, no matter which square he goes into. So you can see there's 5 squares where an opposing player can stand if they wish to blitz the ball carrier. And in each of these 5 squares we're going to put an assist that cannot be cancelled. So you can see this guy here, is also inside the cage, so his assist cannot be cancelled, as for example somebody on the edge of the cage could be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these squares are covered by this guy, who's sometimes called the driver of the bus. And finally we have 1 square here, which we can't cover with the driver, and we can't extend the cage out further to put another driver in, because that would just defeat the purpose and leave a gap people just walk into. So we need to get a guard to cover this square, and that's where that one guard skill comes in. It can be either of these 2 players at the front, so either what the mummy here. If one of them has guard, then this square is also covered by an assist. And if that works, then any strength 3 player coming in to block a strength 3 player will be blocking on a half dice rather than a 1 dice, which is significantly worse. The purpose of this is not to make it impossible for the opposition to succeed in such a play, it's to make it a lot harder, but primarily to just deter them from trying every single turn. If you can reduce the amount of opportunities that your opponent takes, if you've got playing an aggressive opponent and they're going to try and go in as often as possible, then just reducing the amount of instances of them trying greatly increases the chances of you winning the game. So the odds of someone coming in on a 5-up and then 1 dice knocking down the ball, not against a ghoul but against a normal player with no skills, for a block guy would be like 40%, 41%. That's obviously way too high. If you're allowing your opponent to be doing that 4 or 5 times a drive, then it's going to work at some point. And so setting up with a Vengabus like this, it just makes it a lot less attractive, and hopefully they'll try it maybe once, maybe twice at most, and you can have a much better chance of getting away with it. Okay, you may ask why, if we're worried about dodging or leaping to the cage in this way, don't we just have 9 players in the square and just leave no gaps at all? But Blood Bowl doesn't really work like that. Quite often players will be marked and unable to go exactly where you want them, or they may just be off the pitch, dead or KO'd. And even if they're not, it's not really the best idea to do that in any way, for a couple of reasons. One is that against a strong opposition, they may just swamp you, just may surround you, and it's a really bad idea to get all your players bunched up in one place, so you can just get squeezed in and lose the game quite easily in that way. And alternatively, against a fast team, they may just stand off, form a line of defence, and then it's a lot harder to make forward momentum if all of your players are in the cage. You also need players outside the cage to be creating gaps or pushing back the defence, or just holding ground like these two guys are here, stopping the opponent pushing their line of defence forward. A couple of extra points. If you've got no guard players at all, you can always put a 7th player into cage in this square here. So, as we mentioned, the purpose is to have cover every single possible square next to the ball with an assist. And so one way of doing that is to just put one more player in there, and then all 4 possible squares are next to the driver. As mentioned, that's not the best idea. The more players you have in the cage, the less able you are to make forward momentum in your drive. But if you're in a very strong position and all you're worried about is defending against people dodging in, then that is an option for you. Second thing to briefly mention is that it doesn't have to be in this dimension. We've got 3 across and 4 down. It could be like here, so 3 down and 4 across. You can move a cage as you're going along through a drive, so you can put it this way this turn, and then move over here and have it in facing the other direction, little handbrake turn we call that, and then the next turn have it facing this way as you move forward, so it doesn't have to always be in this direction. So that is the Vengabus. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit like and subscribe. You can always check out my Patreon page, which the link below lists all the various videos and articles I've produced. There are also some Patreon exclusive articles there and opportunities for coaching. Finally, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, please comment below with the other kind of key concepts of Blood Bowl you'd like me to make videos on, and that will be most helpful indeed. So, thank you for watching.